So we know that overage agreements are typically drafted by local authorities and large utility companies. Surely with their large experienced legal teams we can trust what's being drafted?
I don't think you ever trust what's being drafted. And certainly, a lot of the larger institutions, statutory undertakers will use national firms, of course, and everybody would think that the national firms would have people in place that would prepare really good documents. But I was looking at something recently, an auction pack, and of course when you buy something at auction, that's it, there's no going back. And the auction pack had an overage deed within it, and the overage deed said that the base value of the land was the agricultural value. Now, in reality, what they were selling was something that was a bit of a lump, and it was commercial and was going to go for certainly more than the 2 acres times £10,000 an acre. I think ultimately it went for about £80,000–90,000. So already the person that buys that land is £70,000 adrift. The base value is going to be £20,000. They've paid, let's for argument's sake say £100,000. They're paying an uplift of 30%. Well, 20 and 100,000 is 80,000. So they're going to be paying 30% of 80,000 straight away in overage whenever they do anything with the land. That overage agreement also said that the land itself would need nothing doing to it. Well, of course, it needed demolition. It probably needed remediation works. And then there was also this very strange provision that said that the trigger was the grant of planning permission for more than one property. So if we got planning for one and sold off one, and then got planning for another one and sold off one, we would never have to pay the overage. But if we got planning for 2 units, we'd have to pay the overage. And that was just the first things that you saw by quickly flicking through the overage deed. So I went back to the solicitors who didn't seem to understand that there was an issue. So I bullet pointed everything for them. And then I also pointed out to them that there was no, they didn't take into account if one payment had been made, that was then already taken into consideration on any future payments. So they kept going back to the base value of the agricultural land. So every permission you got, you kept going back to the base value and paying the uplift. I did eventually get an email saying they'd completely redrafted the document, but how many people go to auction and buy land without even looking at the deeds? And it is very dangerous to rely on the fact that you think that the other person knows what they're doing when they're drafting.